Hello, and welcome back to another breaking news update. My name is Jimmy Boyd, and you were watching Boyd News. I want to thank you so much for tuning in today. I've got some big news coming out from Israel to share with you. I have some updates. And before we get into that, I just want to say happy 4th of July to all of you. I forgot to mention that in our first video today. I hope you guys have a good one and just be safe out there with your fireworks and enjoy your barbecue, your family. And I hope you guys have a good one. So thank you so much for being here. I want to go ahead and get right into this story here for you. So I have some more updates regarding this potential war that's about to break out between Hezbollah and Israel literally at any minute. It's just getting worse and worse over here every day. We are seeing constant escalation, just like you're seeing right here in the video footage. No de-escalation, no diplomatic solutions. It's just absolute war going on over here right now. So we have reports today. Hezbollah has fired 200 plus rockets at Israel's north after a senior commander has been eliminated. So we're going to go over him in just a minute. But we've got massive wildfires breaking out on the northern side of Israel once again. Like I said, 200 plus rockets, okay? I can't believe that Israel is just taking these hit after hit with all these rockets just landing all over the northern side of their country, just devastating their country. And, this is obviously in response to this elimination of another senior commander. So this happened actually yesterday. Israel launched an airstrike on this commander and took him out. He was driving in a car on a street, and there's video footage of that. The car's on fire. I had a little snippet or a picture of it on the thumbnail for you before you came in here. So I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. So I'm going to go ahead and get right into this information here for you. So this is on X, okay, from Israel Defense Forces. This is their actual X page. It says here eliminated Mohammed Nema Nasser. I don't know if I'm saying his name right. Hopefully I am. The commander of the Aziz unit in the Hezbollah terrorist organization. Nasser entered his position in 2016 and led the rockets and anti-tank missile attacks from southwestern Lebanon towards Israeli civilians, communities, and security forces. He also directed a large number of terrorist attacks toward Israel both during and before the war, and he previously held several central roles with the Hezbollah terrorist organization. He was the counterpart of Sami Taleb Abdullah, the commander of the Nasser unit, who was eliminated last month. Together, they served as two of the most significant Hezbollah terrorists in southern Lebanon. So this is definitely another big hit to Hezbollah, and I have covered probably well over 12, maybe 15 of these events where Israel is striking senior Hezbollah commanders inside of southern Lebanon and just taking all of them out. Most of the time, they're driving in a car. Sometimes they're in a building when the building gets struck, but majority of the time I've seen them, they monitor from the sky with their drones and they locate where these senior commanders are at. And then when they head out on the road and they start driving, that's when they hit them with a missile or a drone or something like that. So it says right here, eliminated Mohammed Nema Nasser, commander of the Hezbollah Aziz unit. Since 2016, Nasser commanded and operated rocket and anti-tank missile infrastructure used to fire at Israeli civilians and communities from southwestern Lebanon, directed a large number of additional terror attacks toward Israel throughout the war, and previously held several significant positions within the terrorist organization. So I also showed you guys a picture of him on the thumbnail as well before you came in here. That's him also. So I've got some information I want to go over now. We're going to talk some more about these rockets striking Israel. We'll have some more X posts to go over as well. But first I want to show you this report here on AP, get you a little bit more information about this story, what's going on here, and then we'll talk about some additional details and updates regarding this war between Hezbollah and Israel. Hezbollah fires over 200 rockets into Israel after killing of senior commander. Okay, this just coming out today. The Lebanese Hezbollah group said it launched over 200 rockets on Thursday at several military bases in Israel in retaliation for a strike that killed one of its senior commanders. The attack by the Iran-backed militant group was one of the largest in the months-long conflict along the Lebanon-Israel border, with tensions escalating in recent weeks. The Israeli military said numerous projectiles and suspicious aerial targets had entered its territory from Lebanon, many of which it said were intercepted. There were no immediate reports of casualties. It said about 200 projectiles were launched toward the occupied Syrian Golan Heights and over 20 drones into Israeli territory, but that it had intercepted some of them. Israel, after Hezbollah's attack, struck various towns in southern Lebanon. The Israeli military said it hit Hezbollah's military structures in the southern border towns of Ramyeh and Hula. Lebanon state-run national news agency reported an Israeli drone strike of Hula killed at least one person. Israeli jets also broke the sound barrier over the Lebanese capital and other areas in the country. Israel on Wednesday acknowledged that it killed Mohammed Nasser, who headed one of the Hezbollah's 3 regional divisions in southern Lebanon a day earlier. Hours after the killing, Hezbollah launched scores of Katyusha rockets and Falak rockets with heavy warheads into northern Israel and the occupied Syrian Golan Heights. It launched more rockets on Thursday and said it had also sent exploding drones into several bases. So look at that. We got drones attacking bases. We got hundreds of rockets, even heavy warhead rockets flying into northern Israel. Absolute chaos over here, okay? It's just constant escalation on both sides, not just Israel, but also Hezbollah as well. And I'm just really surprised this has not broken out into war yet. I mean, I can't believe the amount of rockets that have hit inside of Israel so far, okay? We're talking thousands and thousands of rockets by now. I've been covering this story for, well, about like 6 months now, I want to say. And it's just continued to get worse. And we know that very soon we're going to be hearing from Benjamin Netanyahu that Israel's going to be pulling out of the Gaza Strip. Now, they may leave some troops there, or at least maybe their Air Force will be monitoring that area, but we know that they're going to be pulling out very soon, and if they do, we know they might be transferring their troops up to the northern side of their country. Now they're going to be going to war with Hezbollah, so I've got some more reports to talk about that here in just a minute as well. So it says Hashem, I don't know if I'm going to say this right, Safieddin, head of Hezbollah's executive council, vowed that the group will continue its retaliatory attacks targeting new sites they never imagined would be hit. So it looks like Hezbollah is going to be hitting new sites inside of Israel that they're not expecting. The enemy sometimes acknowledges these hits and sometimes does not, but it is certain that there may have been many casualties, he said at Nasser's funeral. Nasser was of great importance to Hezbollah, which said he took part in battles in conflicts in Syria and Iraq from 2011 until 2016 and fought in the group's last war with Israel in 2006. 2 other senior Hezbollah commanders have also been killed. I did hear a report, too, that there may have been an assistant also to this senior commander, Nasser, that was killed. He may have been taken out as well. But, very crazy, guys. Israel continues to do this, taking out these senior commanders. And this has been Hezbollah's response to it, okay? Their response is definitely heavy now, and they're starting to fire hundreds and hundreds of rockets every single day. So there was hundreds of rockets fired yesterday, and then we've got more fired today. So this is something that's been developing for the last 48 hours, and it continues to get worse. And again, as we can see here, we've got wildfires starting to break out on the northern side of their country, and Israel is back on fire again. And I just covered that maybe, what was that, like a month ago, maybe less, where there was just major wildfires just breaking out all over Israel's northern side, and many people were even becoming displaced from that too. We had like 60,000 people that were displaced from the northern side just from those fires alone. So very crazy news. So I want to go ahead and get right into this as well. So I've got this report here for you to share with you. This is from Going Underground. Okay, we actually got 3 things we're gonna share here on X. Breaking: Lebanon's Hezbollah retaliates for Israel's assassination of the commander of the Aziz unit by firing a barrage of rockets and drones into northern Israel. There are reportedly numerous casualties among Israeli soldiers. So that's what we're hearing now too. There could be casualties among Israeli soldiers here. So let's go ahead and take a look at this video footage, 23 seconds, and then we'll talk about it.
וואי, נפילה בזמן אמת. אזור איילת השחר, שטח השמע. איך זה נראה? איפה? איפה עוד נפילה? חדש, תראי, צד שמאל, צד שמאל. צד שמאל? וואי.
All right, so as we can see here in this video footage, we've got multiple locations here that have been hit by rockets, smoke billowing all over the place here. Definitely a massive attack. Again, we had 200 plus rockets that were fired from Hezbollah, and this thing continues to spiral out of control. It's getting worse and worse over here every single day, and we're getting closer to Israel just finally being fed up with this and saying, you know what, we've got no choice but to go to war with Lebanon and Hezbollah. And there's been numerous reports, lots of threats going around too, coming from the Israeli government and the IDF, stating that they can wipe out Hezbollah in a number of days. So just craziness upon craziness happening over here. So I've got a couple other reports here to show you. This one's from Vivid. A huge wildfire has spread out in north of Israel due to today's massive rocket barrage fired by Hezbollah. Where's the outrage? Why is the world suddenly silent? So he's got a picture here, a little collage of different fires that are breaking out, and just again, this is starting to happen all over again. We just had this happening, like I said, about a month ago, and now we've got fires starting to break out on the northern side of Israel again. So my whole point, the reason why I'm showing all this is that, again, it's just nothing but escalation, okay? It's getting worse over here by the day, and it's inevitable that we're going to see these two go to war, and we're seeing the evidence of that right now, okay? It continues to worsen, and we're not having any de-escalation. It's more escalation than anything, and we'll have to see what's going to happen here and what Israel's response will be, but clearly we know that this response was a major retaliation from this commander being killed. And we've seen Hezbollah do this many times. Every time a commander gets taken out, that's soon when, within hours actually, that's when Hezbollah starts launching tons of rockets into the northern side of Israel. So just absolutely insane. One final report I want to show you here is from Megatron Ron. Breaking. Thousands of additional Afghan fighters from the, I don't know if I'm going to say this right either, Fateh Miyun Brigade have arrived in Syria to bolster Hezbollah's ranks if needed. This is from I-24 News. It's already happening. After announcing just a few weeks ago the Taliban are already fulfilling their promise, Taliban brigades are being formed and are preparing in Syria for the war with Israel. Next are the Houthis, who have a huge mobilization potential, 2 million reservists. So just look at the amount of people that are going to be involved here. Okay, I've been talking about this a lot, that if this war breaks out, this is going to be a massive war, okay? It's not just going to be in southern Lebanon and northern Israel. It's going to break out into Syria, okay? Syria, these Syrian fighters can start now attacking Israel as well. Then we've also talked a lot about the Houthis. I heard that the Houthis had something like 400,000 ready to mobilize right now. And according to this information, they've even got 2 million reservists. So we're talking millions upon millions of troops going up against the IDF and potentially the United States as well. I've talked a lot about the United States. They stated that they'll come and back Israel, which most likely they would. They're not going to do to Israel, in my opinion, what they did to Ukraine. I think they will step in and help them out. And this is just going to get absolutely insane because we've got multiple countries involved here, lots of big players like the United States, and also Iran has come out and said that they would come and back Hezbollah. So what is Israel going to do here? They're in like got to be the tightest spot that they've ever been. And we're going to have to see what happens when they start to pull out of Gaza. Whenever they pull out, that's when we will get some sort of signal from the IDF if they're going to go after Hezbollah or not. But I think what we're all hoping here is that they do find some sort of diplomatic solution here, so that way a large regional war doesn't break out. Hopefully, if Israel says they're pulling out of the Gaza Strip and they're drawing down their operations, maybe Hezbollah will respond and say, okay, you guys have seized your operations in the Gaza Strip. We will seize our operations in attacking Israel, and then maybe things will kind of just calm down. But to me, it doesn't look like it's going that way, okay? Again, we're seeing more escalation. I know I keep saying that, but that's exactly what we're seeing here, and it's getting worse by the day over here, and it's not getting any better. So in order for things to de-escalate, we have to see less attacks, and we're not seeing that. We're seeing more attacks, and if anything, heavier attacks like what we see here in the video footage. So I'm going to keep a close eye on this, and I'm sure we will see some sort of updates happening over the next couple weeks, especially with this war down in Gaza, and that's when we'll know if Israel's going to go to war with Hezbollah or not. We should be finding out sometime this month, and we also had that timeline that I showed you guys that most likely sometime in the second half of this month, so somewhere between like the 15th and the 30th, somewhere around there, 31st, we should be hearing from Benjamin Netanyahu whether they're going to be going to war with Hezbollah. So yeah, that's going to be it for this update though. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you got something out of this, please smash that like button. Also, if you enjoy my content, please consider subscribing down below. Hit the notification bell, that way YouTube can notify you. And with that, I hope y'all have a great day. Everybody take care and God bless, and we'll see you in the next one.